Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Jana Ranjana Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so today we're reading Caitanya-caritamrita Sunday, but a new song first. This is written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's all about devotional service, which I think we have a joint interest in such things. So Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anakula Bhakta Seva Paramasiddhi Prema Lati Karamula Madhavati Bhakti Janani Chaitanya Palana Kori Krishna Basati Bole Parama Adari Bori Amara Jesavasane Koralo Brahmana Range Sesabastana Haribo Ami Pranai Bhakata Sange Mridanga Vaja Shunite Mana Abasarat Sadajase Kora Vihita Kirtana Shuni Anande Hridoya Nase Jugo Murti Dekila Bora Parama Ananda Hoya Prasada Seva Korite Hoye Sakala Prapancha Jaya Jai Dina Grihe Bhajana Deki Grihe Te Goloka Bhaya Charana Siddhu Dekiya Ganga Sukha Nasima Paya Tulasi Deki Churaya Prana Madhava Toshani Jani Gora Priya Shaka Sevane Jivana Sartakamani Bhakti Vinoda Krishna Bhajane Anakula Payajaha Pratidivase Paramasuke Svikara Koroyetaha Now, the translation of what we just sang. The dust from the lotus feet of pure devotees gives rise to devotional service, and service to the devotees is itself the supreme perfection and the root of the tender creeper of divine love. With great care, I observe holy days like Ekadasi and Janmashtami, for they are the mother of devotion, and with the greatest reverence and love, I choose as my dwelling place the transcendental abode of Sri Krishna. In the company of loving devotees, I will visit all those places where my Lord Gaurasundar traveled and performed his pastimes. Gaurasundar is the name of Lord Chaitanya. My mind always begs. I'm sorry. What would happen there? This takes a little slow and changing screen. My mind always begs to hear the music of the mridanga, and my heart dances in ecstasy whenever I hear the kind of kirtan established by Lord Gaurachandra. I feel supreme bliss when I behold the deity forms of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna, and I conquer all worldly illusions by honoring the Lord's prasadam. Every day, Goloka Vrindavan appears in my home when I see Lord Hari being worshipped there. My joy knows no bounds when I see the Ganges, a river of nectar emanating from the Lord's lotus feet. The sight of the tulasi plant soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to Lord Krishna. I feel that my life has been fulfilled when I honor shak, a green leafy vegetable preparation that is a favorite of Lord Chaitanya's. Whatever Bhaktivinoda obtains that furthers devotional service to Sri Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest joy. Nice song, huh? And it gives us a glimpse of how we should be trying to feel. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is appreciating anything that is favorable for helping him be Krishna conscious. That's what his interest is. That's what gives him pleasure. Worshipping the tulasi plant, or even seeing the tulasi plant, association of devotees, and so on, like that. All the things that we are taught, Srila Prabhupada gave us, that are important for advancing in spiritual life, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also appreciating that opportunity, living in a holy place. Here he's talking about Vrindavan or Mayapur, like that. But any place where there's temples are also holy places because Krishna is here and devotional service is being performed. So one should live as far as possible in a place or near a place where the Lord's service and Lord's pastimes have been performed. And that way, that will also help us to advance on the spiritual path. So, we'll continuing with our reading for Caitanya-caritamrita. I hope I continue where we actually left off. I lose track in here sometimes. So we're still in Adi-lila, still in chapter 1. It started from the beginning. Jnanang parama guyang me yad vijnana samanvitam sarahasyang tad angang cha grihana-caritam maya. Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific, but also full of mysteries. Also full of mysteries. Purport. Transcendental knowledge of Sri Krishna is deeper than the impersonal knowledge of Brahman, for it includes knowledge of not only his form and personality, but also everything else related to him. There is nothing in existence not related to Sri Krishna. In a sense, there is nothing but Sri Krishna, and yet nothing is Sri Krishna save and except his primeval personality. This knowledge constitutes a complete transcendental science, and Vishnu wanted to give Brahmaji full knowledge about that science. The mystery of this knowledge culminates in personal attachment to the Lord, with a resulting effect of detachment from anything non-Krishna. There are 9 alternative transcendental means of attaining attaining this stage: hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, worshiping, praying, assisting, fraternizing with the Lord, and sacrificing everything for Him. There are different parts of the same. These are different parts of the same devotional service, which is full of transcendental mystery. The Lord said to Brahma that since he was pleased with him, by his grace the mystery was being revealed. Yavan ahang yata bhavo yadrupa guna karmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam astu te mad anugrahat. By my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestations, qualities, and pastimes. Purport. The transcendental personal forms of the Lord are a mystery, and the symptoms of these forms, which are absolutely different from anything made of mundane elements, are also mysterious. The innumerable forms of the Lord, such as Shama Sundar, Narayana, Rama, and Gaura Sundar, the colors of these forms are white, red, yellow, cloud-like Sham, and others. His qualities as the responsive personality of Godhead to pure devotees, and as impersonal Brahman to dry speculators, his uncommon activities like lifting Govardhan Hill, marrying more than 16,000 queens at Dwarka, and entering the Rasa dance with the damsels of Vraja, expanding himself in as many forms as there were damsels in the dance. These and innumerable other uncommon acts and attributes are all mysterious, are all mysteries, one aspect of which is presented in the scientific knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, which is read and adored all over the world by all classes of scholars, with as many interpretations as there are empiric philosophers. If someone's not a devotee of Krishna and they're translating and commenting on Bhagavad Gita, everyone will have a different opinion of what Bhagavad Gita actually means. The truth of these mysteries was revealed to Brahma by the descending process, without the help of the ascending one. The Lord's mercy descends to a devotee like Brahma, and through Brahma to Narada, and from Narada to Vyas, and from Vyasadeva to Shukadev, and so on in the bona fide chain of the cyclic succession. We cannot discover the mysteries of the Lord by our mundane endeavors. They are only revealed by His grace to the proper devotees. These mysteries are gradually disclosed to the various grades of devotees in proportion to the gradual development of their service attitude. In other words, impersonalists who depend upon the strength of their poor fund of knowledge and morbid speculative habits, without submission and service in the form of hearing, chanting, and other mentioned above, cannot penetrate to the mysterious region of transcendence, where the supreme truth is a transcendental person, free from all tinges of material elements. Discovering the mystery of the Lord eliminates the impersonal feature realized by common spiritualists who are merely trying to enter the spiritual region from the mundane platform. So, saying this knowledge was given to Lord Brahma by the descending process. Descending means you just hear it. You get it directly from the Lord, or in our case, we get it directly from the Lord through the disciplic succession. We don't have to try to sit down and speculate what is the truth, what is not. And if someone does do that, there's every possibility that they're going to come to the wrong conclusion. So there's us descending process, which is what I just described, and ascending process, which is the material way of knowledge, trying to figure things out, experimentation, speculation, theories, test your theories. That's a material scientific approach, is the ascending process, like that. But this is also described as a science, the scientific method, because the scientific method, spiritual scientific method, means you're hearing this knowledge from the perfect source, and just accepting it. And that's the only way that's going to actually work. It's the only perfect way, because we have defects, imperfect senses, tendency to cheat, what are the others? Imperfect senses, a tendency to cheat. That's what I'm missing. Well, huh? Defects, yeah, the 4 defects.
Perfect senses, tendency to make mistakes, to cheat.
Yeah, make mistakes and then cheat. And then what's the 4th one?
Fall into illusion.
We fall into illusion, yes. So with these 4 defects, if we try to figure out anything, or we try to learn from someone who has tried to figure out the truth from the ascending process, then we will be misled. We'll be misled. So the process is like that, to receive it from higher, from above, through the disciplic succession. Okay, here. The next one, I think, is one of the 4 main verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ahangivasam eva gre nanyad yat sadasat param paschadahang yad etachcha yo vashisheta sosmaham. Prior to the cosmic creation, only I exist, Krishna. And no phenomena exist, either gross, subtle, or primordial. After creation, only I exist in everything, and after annihilation, only I remain eternally. So Krishna is always existing. From before anything's created, after the creation, and after the destruction of everything, Krishna still remains. Only Krishna remains. Purport. Aham means I. Therefore, the speaker who is saying aham, I, must have his own personality. The Mayavadi philosophers interpret this word aham as referring to the impersonal Brahman. The Mayavadis are very proud of their grammatical knowledge, but any person who has actual knowledge of grammar can understand that aham means I, and that I refers to a personality. Therefore, the personality of Godhead speaking to Brahma uses aham while describing his own transcendental form. Aham has a specific meaning. It is not a vague term that can be whimsically interpreted. Aham, when spoken by Krishna, refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and nothing else. Before the creation and after its dissolution, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his associates exist. There is no existence of the material elements. This is confirmed in the Vedic literature. Vasudevo va idam agra asin na brahma na cha shankaraha. The meaning of this mantra is that before creation, there was no existence of Brahma or Shiva, for only Vishnu existed. Vishnu exists in his abode with the Vaikunthas, the spiritual world. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky, and on each of them Vishnu resides with his associates and his paraphernalia. It is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that although the creation is periodically dissolved, there is another abode which is never dissolved. The word creation refers to the material creation because in the spiritual world everything exists eternally and there is no creation or dissolution. The Lord indicates herein that before the material creation, he existed in fullness with all transcendental opulences, including what are the six opulences? Yeah, in English. Well, for that, I mean.
Knowledge, renunciation, opulence, strength, beauty, and what is the last one?
Which word did it here? Strength, wealth, beauty, knowledge, fame. Fame and renunciation. If one thinks of a king, he automatically thinks of his secretaries, ministers, military commanders, palaces, and so on. Since a king has such opulences, one can simply try to imagine the opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When the Lord says aham, therefore, it is to be understood that he exists with full potency, including all opulences. So part of Krishna's opulences is that the spiritual world and all the devotees, inhabitants, devotees all the Vaikuntha planets, all exist eternally. So along with Krishna. So Krishna is there, and this is part of his opulences. But everything material is there's a creation and then there's destruction in due course of time. But Krishna existed before the creation, and he continues to exist in full after the creation. One creation after another, creation, destruction. But he is always he and all of his in the spiritual world and all of his devotees there, and everything in the spiritual world continues to exist. The word Yat refers to Brahman, the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. In the Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 40, it is said, Tad Brahman Nishkalam Anantam Asheshta Bhutam. The Brahman effulgence expands unlimitedly. Just as the sun is a localized planet, with the sunshine expanding unlimitedly from that source, so the absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his effulgence of energy, Brahman, expanding unlimitedly. From the Brahman energy, the creation appears just as a cloud appears in sunshine. From the cloud comes rain, from the rain comes vegetation, and from the vegetation comes fruits and flowers, which are the basis of subsistence for many other forms of life. Similarly, the effulgent bodily luster of the Supreme Lord is the cause of the creation of infinite universes. The Brahman effulgence is impersonal, but the cause of that energy is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From him, in his abode, the Vaikunthas, this Brahmajyoti emanates. He is never impersonal. Since impersonalists cannot understand the source of the Brahman energy, they mistakenly choose to think this impersonal Brahman, they choose to think this impersonal Brahman the ultimate or absolute goal. But as stated in the Upanishads, one has to penetrate the impersonal effulgence to see the face of the Supreme Lord. Jai Shri Gaura Shri Radha Brija Bihari Jagannath Balaram Lady Subhadra Shri Radha Ki Jai. If one desires to reach the source of the sunshine, he has to travel through the sunshine to reach the sun and then meet the predominating deity there. The absolute truth is the Supreme Person, Bhagavan, as Srimad Bhagavatam explains. Sat means effect, Asat means cause, and Param refers to the ultimate truth, which is transcendental to cause and effect. The cause of the creation is called the Mahatattva, or total material energy, and its effect is the creation itself. But neither the cause nor the effect existed in the beginning. They emanated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as did the energy of time. This is stated in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmajashayataha. The source of birth of the cosmic manifestation, or the Mahatattva, is the personality of Godhead. This is confirmed through Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 8, the Lord says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the fountainhead of all emanations. The material cosmos, being temporary, is sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest, but its energy emanates from the Supreme Absolute Truth. Before the creation, there was neither cause nor effect, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead existed with its full opulence and energy. The words Paschad Aham indicate that the Lord exists after the dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. When the material world is dissolved, the Lord still exists personally in the Vaikunthas. During the creation, the Lord also exists as he is in the Vaikunthas, and he also exists as the Supersoul within the material universes. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Goloka Eva Nivasati. Although he is perfectly and eternally present in Goloka, Vrindavan, in Vaikuntha, he is nevertheless all-pervading. Akilatma Bhutaha. The all-pervading feature of the Lord is called the Supersoul. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Supersoul. So the Supersoul is in everyone's heart, in every atom, in the Straita Dweep planet. He's also there. That's where the demigods in the Srimad Bhagavatam are now presently praying to the Lord at that place. The material elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, display the inferior energy of the Lord, and the living entities are his superior energy. Since the energy of the Lord is not different from him, in fact, everything that exists is Krishna, and his impersonal feature. Since the energy of the Lord is not different from him, in fact, everything that exists is Krishna in his impersonal feature. Sunshine, sunlight, and heat are not different from the sun, and yet, simultaneously, they are distinct energies of the sun. Similarly, the cosmic manifestation and the living entities are energies of the Lord, and they are considered to be simultaneously one with and different from him. The Lord therefore says, I am everything, because everything is his energy, and is therefore, and the The Lord therefore says, I am everything, because everything is his energy and is therefore non-different from him. Yo Vashisheta So Smyaham indicates that the Lord is the balance that exists after the dissolution of the creation. The spiritual manifestation never vanishes. It belongs to the internal energy of the Supreme Lord and exists eternally. When the external manifestation is withdrawn, the spiritual activities in Goloka and the rest of the Vaikunthas continue unrestricted by material time, which has no existence in the spiritual world. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 6, it is said, Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhamma paramam dhamma. The abode from which no one returns to this material world is the supreme abode of the Lord. So the material world, obviously, everything is created and destroyed. Our bodies are created and destroyed, and everything around us is created and destroyed. But even when everything here is created and destroyed, the Supreme Lord and the spiritual world and all of his wonderful pastimes that go on there, they continue on without any deviation. They're never disturbed. They have nothing. They have no connection to this material world and to the creation and destruction here. That is only for us. The world is created and destroyed again and again and again, as long as we're here. But if we follow this process of Krishna consciousness, chant our rounds, follow the principles, dedicate our life, helping others become Krishna conscious like that, then we will go back to that spiritual world, and we also will not experience any more repeated birth and death and creation and destruction of existence. It's 8:27. I will stop reading here because I'm supposed to actually stop at 8:30. Any questions, comments? No one today? Okay. So let me just check real quick, see if anyone left any comment on online. Nothing. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone who has come. We had 2 viewers online also. We'll end here for today. Tomorrow we'll be back on continuing with